Greetings, comrades, and welcome to the Rad Gaming Podcast. I'm Jemshi.
And I'm Pescador, and in this episode of the podcast, we're going to go over some of our highly anticipated games of February 2019. We're going to go in an in-depth overview of these new releases, and also talk about the newly announced free-to-play Battle Royale game created by Respawn, the makers of Titanfall, called Apex Legends.
This episode of the Rad Gaming Podcast is sponsored by Cento Fiore. Cento Fiore is a lifestyle fashion brand that sees beauty and cultural heritage, and always strives to offer timeless and elegant style. Visit cento-fiore.com to join the family. That's CENTO-FIORE.com. Now, to the podcast. So, Pescador, which game are you looking forward to coming out this month?
I know there's a ton of games actually coming out this month, and a few on my eye on are God Eater 3, that's coming out February 8th. There's Jump Force that comes out the 15th, and there's like a crap ton of games. Oh, I know that you're really excited about Jump Force. I know that you played Soul Calibur back in the good old days. So
yeah, man, all those fighters type games that I love to play, like those are the ones that like I love playing the combos. Like I know a lot of people say like, I don't know, getting into the games is so hard because there's so many different combos you got to learn. But I don't know, I find that really fun. That like, because there's combos beyond the combos. Like which combos should you play back to back? And I don't know.
Dude, my only experience with fighting games goes back to Street Fighters, and that's sad to say, but I used to love it. But I used to suck with the combos. I used to I had to pause it and like,
masher?
Oh yeah, I'm like, come on, get that stupid combo. Like I tried so hard. Like I was constantly Guile. I think that's the technical way you should say his name in Street Fighters, but he would throw Sonic Boom, and I could not throw it. Like I would throw it like maybe 15% of the time that I try to button mash. It was awful. Like I even tried to practice. Like I'd plug in another controller and then try to do the combos to myself. You know what I'm saying? Like
right.
And it was
like,
just
like a practice mode.
Yeah, that and Mortal Kombat. Those are the two games that I'd honestly say that I played the most as a kid. Not Soul Calibur too much. I wasn't too into it.
Yeah, the reason I got Soul Calibur was my parents just saw a link. And they were just like, hey, you like Zelda, like Legend of Zelda games. Let's just buy you this
I see your
game.
shield and your sword. I like your nice little addition in the background.
Thought I'd throw that back there for a little extra flair. Fill out my wall.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. It actually ties in.
Yeah, so with the Jump Force, it's actually, I'm pretty stoked because it's all the classic Shonen Jump, manga or manga. I should know this, how to pronounce that word. But it's all the comics. Japanese comic heroes from all those. You got like Dragon Ball, we got Naruto. Then there's actually a Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Moto.
Wait, Yu-Gi-Oh's in it?
I am not joking.
I saw Goku was in it, and I saw a fight scene, and I was really excited about that, but I had no idea the guy from Yu-Gi-Oh's in there. That's pretty awesome. Or like the whole cast. Is it just like the specific individual Yu-Gi-Oh? Or are you talking about like...
It's just Yugi.
Oh, okay.
The character. So it doesn't have everyone else, but I thought it was hilarious because they were saying like, oh, all like the big Shonen Jump, comics. And I was like, well, Yu-Gi-Oh was the big Shonen Jump one. Is that in there? So I Googled it, and sure enough, he's part of the roster.
That's actually pretty cool. I used to have
I haven't seen any gameplay of how he fights, but
yeah, how would he fight? I mean, he just goes, and he just slams down his card.
That's cards.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he'll finger someone to poke someone in the eyes. I don't know. I mean, I think he'll throw it on cards and they'll fight for him. But I mean, I'd love to see Yu-Gi-Oh get
throwing cards.
I feel like his little what is his little stand? His little stand that he had behind. It was like, you know what I'm talking about? That they put the cards down on. But his move, like someone goes to throw a kick and puts a stand out in front of him.
Arm. He's gonna have that one.
Oh,
did you ever watch that?
Yeah, no, I did. Yeah. Like the mobile, the version.
I like Dual Disc. That's what it's called.
Thank you. Okay, well, see, I did watch Yu-Gi-Oh a little bit, not too much. Like I said, Digimon was my stuff back in the day.
I had the cards. I even got the Dungeon Dice Monster game, which wasn't as good as the card game, but even if you could say the card game's good, I know that's up to debate, but I know people play Magic the Gathering and say that's better, but I thought the game at the time, I loved Yu-Gi-Oh! I was like making my own fake Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards to play with my siblings.
That's pretty sad.
And we actually had more fake cards than we had real cards. And then, of course, we'd like shuffle them together as if it was like, oh, what card am I going to draw? Like a Blue Eyes White Dragon or one of my made up
Did you do the movements too? Like, dude, just like pull it up and slam it down.
Glove. I should find it, but I had like the actual dueling glove that they had for the first season, where they had like the stars on the wrist and everything.
Please find it.
I might not even fit me anymore because I had that when like Yu-Gi-Oh came out, and that was probably when I was like 10, so over 10 years ago.
Now that we, reminisced about Yu-Gi-Oh, is there any other characters that you're really excited about in Jump Force besides Yu-Gi-Oh?
I mean, I'm also a Dragon Ball fan, but I was a little disappointed they didn't have Gohan in there. They have Goku, Vegeta, Trunks.
I'm excited about Goku and Vegeta. Vegeta's my favorite. Like I said before, I love it. I'm real excited about that. Do they have any evil villains like Majin Buu?
Yeah, they have Cell.
Oh, Cell's always in there. Oh, okay.
So
no Boo.
They do have some really good ones. I don't know if they have Boo. Let me check real quick. I have the list pulled up here. The roster. They do have some One Piece. I don't know if you know much about One Piece though. Mm. No, they don't. But they have Piccolo.
Ooh, yeah. You mean evil Piccolo? Or like talking about like the good Piccolo towards the end of Dragon Ball Z? Well,
right.
Not the end of Dragon Ball. He's all throughout Dragon Ball Z. But bad Piccolo is from Dragon Ball. Excuse me. So.
Oh right. I was like confused as you. I was like, oh yeah, man, it's been so long since.
Yeah, it's really strange thinking about evil Piccolo. To be honest.
Right, like you're like, because I knew Dragon Ball Z from like that was like for years. That's all I knew about Dragon Ball. I never even like read the Dragon Ball manga or anime or anything until like years and years later until I realized that Piccolo was actually evil.
Oh my goodness gracious! Yeah. That I'm excited about that game. That game looks really good, actually. I might actually pick that up just because I'm a huge Dragon Ball Z fan. But I would love to duel you as Yu-Gi-Oh and see what happens. I think it'd be hilarious, honestly. I don't know how that match would go. In my mind, it just doesn't pan out well for Yu-Gi-Oh. But
it says here that he summons dual monsters like Dark Magician.
Well, I can. Oh yeah,
stuff like that. So I guess he has like moves that I don't know. He's kind of like the. What do they call those people? Like the spell wizard kind of characters that always have like they don't fight themselves, but they summon things to fight for them.
Yeah, I got you. It makes perfect sense. I really want Yu-Gi-Oh to be a person that fights for a little bit. Like,
yeah, I want it to be just Yugi.
Throw his what is it? His dueling deck. Throw his dual deck.
Disc.
Yeah, whatever it is called.
It was Millennium Puzzle, where if he gets hit so many times, then he becomes actual Yugi.
I like how we're like taking this and actual like breaking it down as if Yu-Gi-Oh is going to be an actual individual that's going to fight and not summon anything. It's actually really ridiculous. I don't know why we're doing it, but we are.
I feel like that might be a more entertaining game if you had like Goku fighting Yugi with nothing.
Dude, I think it'd be better if we had like Yamcha or Krillin. My goodness gracious. Like they haven't had any good moves since what? I mean, Dragon Ball? Like, geez, oh man. Krillin's good at getting killed. As sad as that sounds, but I mean, it's the truth. But moving on, there's no good ending for that in general. I mean, Yu-Gi-Oh! I can see him summoning some. I'm excited about it. I really am. Just the whole thing I'm excited about. But I do know 15th of February has a crap ton of games. So Jump Force is one of them. We have Crackdown 3, which I'm excited for because I played the original Crackdown. And the new one has Terry Crews in it, though. That's actually pretty cool.
Terry Crews as like a voice?
Oh, yeah.
Or did they have him like reanimated like and rendered out as a character in the game?
He is like his facial but not his muscles.
His own character in the game now?
Yes. I mean, I don't remember if it was named technically Terry Crews. Like I think it was under a different name. But his face and his muscles aren't there though. I mean, he's pretty muscular, the dude that they like represents, but like he's not like super huge and hulkish like Terry Crews is in real life. So I'm a little sad about that. But I don't know if you've ever really played the Crackdown games, but I know a lot of people didn't like the second one. But the third one is supposed to mirror the first one, and I'm really excited about it. So the plot escapes me a little bit because I was a kid when I was playing through, right, so I didn't really play it.
A long time ago, right?
Yeah, it was 12 years ago. I think it was 2007. 2007. And I used to play that game like GTA, so I wouldn't play, I wouldn't play legit. I would just kind of run around and like kill things and people, and so I would drop kick cars and watch the cars go flying across the map. And it sounds really strange when you say it like that, but so the premise of this game is that you're part of an agency, and you're an agent that runs around for this agency trying to get rid of, I guess, their factions or evil factions within the city. So you're trying to cleanse the areas. So like, there's different factions. You go in there, you kill a ton of their players, their members. Then the boss gets pissed off, and then they come out and fight you, and then you beat them, and then you clear that area completely of that individual.
In the ideal situation,
yeah.
You win.
so the neat concept about Crackdown was always like the leveling system. So like, it's supernatural. Like, you were like a superhero in a sense. So like, you were like this agent, but like, so for instance, I know that in Crackdown 3, agility level 1, that you can hop 1 story high. So as you level up, you can like jump over buildings. Like it's insane. So I really
sounds
enjoyed.
like you're in the Matrix or something like that.
Kinda. It's kind of like that, but it's really cartoony, the feel of the game in general, and I really like that about it. But in this one in general, I know that driving had a specific part to it. So if you drove a lot in the game, this is really neat. I know you didn't play it, so I kind of want to explain to you, is when you get into a vehicle, your specific agent vehicle, like the car transforms to what level you are. So like, you'll see this like cruddy like agent car, and you hop into it, and depending on what level you are, it'll transform to that specific level. So like, say that you're level 3, it'll upgrade to a level 3 looking car, so it'll have like improved boost and things like that, and better handling as a car. But it transforms kind of like I don't know, it kind of like grows a little bit, and some like metal appears. It's really neat, the transition that you get to see with the game. So I think it has a really artistic take on some of those things, and that's like kind of what I'm really excited about.
So what happened with Crackdown 2? You kind of got me interested in that.
Like, a lot of people didn't
as well. Because it sounds like a fun game, so I can't imagine how
they kind of got away from the feel of the very first one. And to be honest, it's been such a long time that I don't really remember the specifics, because I didn't end up getting Crackdown 2 because I saw so many negative comments about it that it wasn't.
Oh, wow.
So I just kind of, I mean, it wasn't overwhelmingly negative, but it's just like enough to be like, the Crackdown on the first one was fun. I enjoyed playing it, but if a lot of people are saying the second one isn't as good as the first, and like there's a lot of things that they changed to it that I didn't like, I kind of stayed away from it. So I
guess you kind of want to preserve that good memory of Crackdown, right? You don't want to go Crackdown 2 and then ruin kind of
absolutely, because I like the concept. Like, I would literally go around drop kicking like pedestrian cars, like, and it sounds so weird when you say it, like, but like I would just drop kick it and they go flying, because like I would be strength, like my strength would be maxed out. And it's just a fun game. Like, you being able to use, like, there's explosives, there's agility. So like agility, you go jumping, you can jump really high. Strength, you can punch people into the freaking moon, I swear. You can put people into orbit with that punch, but like, or kicks. It was just so much fun. So like, eventually you're just like this superhero for the most part, but it was a fun concept. I really enjoyed it. I remember what it was. Crackdown brought some weird concept. Crackdown 2, brought some weird concepts. It was like zombies or aliens or something like that into the mix, and then a lot of people didn't like that.
So they kind of changed the like whole genre and feel of the game.
Yeah, so I mean, it kind of got away from everything, but I mean, it is what it is. Everyone, like, they try to do some different look and feel to it, from what I understand. So I mean, you got to try something different. If you don't try to change it up, I mean, you might lose.
Right, you got to take risk, or else it's just going to get boring after a while.
So they kind of went back to the old school way, which is kind of neat, but it might get old quickly.
Well, now it's like, it's been like over 10 years, like the new graphics and kind of things. Now they can probably try out new things. Like,
well, they're not going to do it. Oh, I mean, physics has, yes, probably. Right. I would say
they have more things that like they can do in the game that they probably couldn't before.
Probably. But the thing is that I like about it, the graphics still look the same. It might be a little bit. I mean, it's a little different, a little bit more crisp, but not so like. It's not so different that it feels like a completely different game, is what I'm trying to say. So
yeah,
it still kind of reminds me of the same old game. But there are other games that are actually coming out, and we'll talk about that, I guess. So Metroid Exodus comes out the 15th also with every other game. So there's so many games coming out the 15th. It's ridiculous. Like Far Cry,
I guess, ideal for people who like Valentine's weekend is kind of that weekend. It's like you either gonna
that's a really good point. Yeah, I mean, yeah,
you got video games. They got you covered.
Yeah, no matter what you do. I mean, maybe your girl would get you a game for Valentine's too. So there you go. You might be right about that actually. So it's a good time, a good timing, I should say. But Far Cry New Dawn comes out February 15th, and I feel like it looks like Halo. Not Halo, excuse me, man, that's not even close. I meant to say Fallout. It looks like Fallout. You know, like they I was watching the trailer and they showed a little bit of it, and they're showing like a little bit of rundown buildings, and like they used like other parts of buildings to kind of patch things up, kind of like Fallout did. So like they said that like there are bombs dropped, kind of destroyed the whole place. They rebuilt it, and there's a lot of looks like a Mad Max kind of feel. I saw that people were driving around in vehicles a lot, trying to take over specific areas, and there were two badass chicks that were like killing people left and right. So I'm assuming that that's going to be your boss, basically towards the end of the into the genre. But I kind of got away from Far Cry. They kind of pumping them out like kind of like Call of Duties.
Yeah, it's just kind of like a intermittent game now, I guess. Like it's not like a Far Cry. Because it's New Dawn, it's not like they don't have the number on the end, right?
No, yeah, I believe it's like a little taste of what's to come and something else, or kind of like a transition period. I really don't know what exactly they're trying to do with this game, but I mean, it's a different feel. I'm
afraid that like it might be a game where they're just trying to like milk the franchise while it's popular, you know?
Yeah, I noticed...
They know that like we need to make a game, but if we use the Far Cry, label and characters and stuff, you know, like not like the characters, but more like the setting is what I mean. Know what I mean, like kind of use that and to sell a game like that otherwise probably wouldn't sell. Like that's what I'm getting worried that it might be.
They're kind of relying also on the art ability of the developers and things like that. So it just like it utilizing the art is what I'm trying to say, I guess. So I noticed it's very colorful. Very different from any other game that's out there in the sense that color is like a main component of, I guess, this game. So I don't know. I think that it's just like the other Far Cry is kind of reskinned and, you know, a little different concept. I mean, I'd like to look more into it because I did enjoy the other Far Cry games. There's a lot of, in-depth parts to games like that, like skinning animals. And I noticed there are like some, I wouldn't say radioactive type animals like there are in Fallout, but they're like mutated, it seems, some kind of animals in there. So I'm kind of interested to see what's going to happen, what kind of animals you're going to get and things like that. So,
right, what kind of exotic ones, I guess is more what they're going
I saw like in the trailer, there's like a lot of albino like deer. So with a ton of like horns, like their antlers were just full, like a full rack. It was ridiculous. But I mean, this game looks interesting. I'd give it a shot. I mean, I wouldn't discredit it just because, you know, they it's the same thing kind of reskin, but it looks not bad. It doesn't look bad.
Yeah, I mean, comparing it with like all the other games that are coming out that weekend, it kind of
it kind of gets shadowed.
Right. That's at least in my opinion. For me, like the highlight is Jump Force, obviously. So
I do actually kind of want to get it so we can fight each other. Not only that, I mean, you'll kill me because I still have to learn my combos because even in Smash Brothers, I can't learn combos, man. I played Super Smash Brothers Ultimate the other, when I went back home for Christmas, and, I got destroyed because my friend would literally pause the game and be like, all right, let me read my combos, man. I'm like, dude, I just want to fight. Let's fight. And he'd read his combos, and he'd come out and just destroy me. So I'm the kind of person that just wants to get to the action. So, I mean, I need to learn my combos before I fight you because I know that's what you're going to do. You're going to learn your combos. So.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it is for, I know, with Soul Calibur, because that's the game that I've played, and keeping up with it, they do change the movesets ever so slightly, and then they slow down certain moves that are, because they were too fast in the previous one. So, then I always feel like every new, iteration of the game kind of sets me back. So, if you wanted to play Soul Calibur 2, I could probably
Have you ever played Mortal Kombat?
I've played it a little bit. I haven't played.
I'm trying to find a fighting game that you haven't played, so that we can play it. So
recently, I haven't played
the same
any
level.
Of the recent Mortal Kombats, so maybe we could try that.
Maybe. I mean, So
I have to see if it's even a game that I can even stand playing. I know it's pretty gruesome. I played it back in the day when like the graphics weren't as good, so like I was like, oh okay, you know, it's just stuff. Now like the graphics are just like, he literally just did that. Like what? Like
I love the fatality moves. Like, I remember back in the good old days, like they weren't so like I remember Sub-Zero rip your head off and then throw it at your like body and it would shatter into a million pieces. But now it's like so detailed that it would like, you know, like shove your, you know, like he like shove his hand on your neck, then rip your spine out and show like all the spine and all the blood dripping all your spine and stuff. It's amazing how far games have come. Honestly, kids don't know it these days, man. They don't know what they have.
I mean, what was funny is that like I was thinking because I was thinking back at all the games that I used to play, like on the N64, and I thought they were so realistic. Like, wasn't that like insane to
like
think?
GoldenEye and stuff? Oh.
Right. Like, I thought I was playing the most realistic game I've ever played. And, like, going back to those games, it's just, you feel like, what am I looking at here?
I know.
Like,
I remember when like Grand Theft Auto Vice City came out, I was like, dude, this game is out of this world. It's so crazy. The cars, the people, the missions, the guns, and then not swimming really upset me. I mean, that really sucked. But no, but I understand the graphics. Like, it's just funny how so much has changed. And like, when it was the time that we're just like, oh my god, this game is just gorgeous. And now we look back and I'm like, damn, that's a block figure. Like, what are we thinking? You know. But anyway, other games that are actually coming out. Other than the 15th, there is Anthem, which we did talk about. I would say to check it out. It is pretty fun. I played the demo. It's interesting. Like I said, I really enjoyed playing the demo. It's nothing new to me, but I mean, it's fun. It will get you hooked, and you'll keep you busy for a little while. So I would honestly check it out. But also, Stellaris is coming out the 22nd of February. And I'm actually really excited about that game. I liked it, and this is coming out for the console, so don't get it confused with the PC version. I love the PC version of Stellaris.
Right, this is a real-time strategy game.
Yes, and I absolutely loved it. I loved all the characters, and I loved just taking over planets. I really enjoyed the concept of being the robots because they didn't like every creature has to populate in order for you to be able to build, you know, buildings and things like that and actually utilize them. So my robots can just build instead of populate. So like you need more. It's fun. I didn't have to feed them either. So like I didn't have to waste spaces on, but you consumed a shit ton of energy and it sucked. So
there's the trade-off.
Yeah, it was fun. But no, yeah, those are the games that are actually coming out this month that I'm excited about. But there was an announcement today. Respawn had me waiting for so long. So the whole thing was they're supposed to make an announcement today, I believe at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. They were going to do a live stream of the event. So I went on and they had this still image of I guess a really mossy kind of forest in a sense. And they kept on flashing things every like 10 minutes. And I was like, 10 minutes in, I'm like, any second now, it's going to start. I'm so excited. And like, eventually, I think it was about 20, 30 minutes into the, like sitting there, that they're like, okay, in 3 hours, we're going to launch the game. I'm like, the hell? I'm sitting here for so long. Did I misread something? I was so upset. But they didn't disappoint.
I remember you were texting me. You were like, dude, I'm watching the live stream right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I was. Yeah. So
I'm so excited. I'm sure you got like, you're like, what have I been sitting here for?
No, it was like 3 hours and like 30 minutes or something. It was going to go live. So it was going to live at 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I ended up sitting there watching it. I was super excited. The trailer was actually really funny. They had a few characters in there. It looked like Borderlands kind of feel. They had like the cartoonish kind of feel. And they had some witty, you know, comments about some things and stuff. They showed a few characters off. But they said it was available today. So I actually downloaded it, played it. And it was really fun. I have to say, I don't like Battle Royale that much. But it was actually really enjoyable. And they really changed the feel of Battle Royale. And it's a first-person shooter. The graphics are kind of Borderlands-ish, a little bit better than Borderlands. They're not so cartoony that it's unrealistic, but it's like cartoony.
Kind of stylized.
Yeah.
Kind of the word I would say.
Yeah. So, while playing this game, you have a slew of characters that you can choose from. A lot of them have different abilities. It's just like every other kind of thing, in a sense, for Battle Royale kind of games. But I really fell in love with them. There's like a medic kind of character. I really fell in love with the idea of being able to lose an individual in your squad. So it's a squad-based game. So when you play this Battle Royale, your squad is very important to you. Like, your squad really helps you out. And what happens is, if you go down, you can be picked back up, obviously. But
just like in most Battle Royales.
Yes. But if you die, you can still be picked up. Like, you can still be revived, technically. So what happens is your body, if someone finishes you off when they put you down, you're left with the crate. The crate's there. Your teammate can kill that individual or just run over to your body and loot the crate for a banner. And once they get the banner from your body, they can actually go to I don't know if it's a signal or a little station, but you go to a station and you'd have to sit there for a little bit, but you can call that person back into the game. So it really changes the feel of the Battle Royale, and it's really cool to be able to be, you know that you screwed up in the very beginning, you didn't get a gun, it stinks, you died. I don't want to play this game anymore, but wait, you can sit there and wait and get people to, you don't want to, I hate sitting there in the very beginning of a game of Battle Royale, knowing that you didn't get a gun, you get killed off the bat.
But the rest of your squad carries on.
Yeah, and you just sit there. You ever see the SpongeBob memes with Squidward's just looking through the shades, and they're like just staring there, like watching people play, and he's just all mopey and whatnot. That's how you feel. You truly feel that way, and I think it's hilarious. But like,
I think it also helps because it brings back like, the squad, balance where they're like, hey,
yeah,
so
exactly.
we lost a member, we can bring him back and kind of even it out the next time we go head to head with another squad.
Yeah, so each individual brings something different to the table. God, if I can't remember the names, hopefully I can remember them. I don't remember the names. There were some. I just like I said, just started playing it, but I know there's the Wraith. The Wraith is an individual that actually can put portals up, and it's actually really sweet because she deals with the like infinite time realm kind of thing. She has like a passive ability that she can hear a voice in her head said that there's like enemies nearby or there's like something happening close by. So
kind of like a spidey sense.
Yeah, and you can warn your team that's going to happen. But I was the Wraith. I really enjoyed her. There's an ability that you can like kind of teleport-ish, like quickly move. And it's pretty neat when you're fighting people and they like appear, disappear, appear again kind of thing. And then you can put a portal down and go through your portal, but I kind of messed up. During the middle of a fight, I'd freak out and be like, oh God, Z, and I put Z and I like Z twice, and then it'd be like the portal would be 10 feet in front of me, and I'd go in and out of those, and then I'd die because it wouldn't obviously far enough. But no, that's really fun. There's a medic class that really helps revive people. They put a shield down when you go up and revive people, and they put a bot down that actually helps heal your teammates. So that's an interesting concept, and it's very important to have one of those. And also, they have another character I remember off the top of my head is actually named Mirage, kind of like a sneaky character, can kind of disappear and reappear kind of thing. But there's so many different abilities. It really rounds out your team. It's really cool. But the other interesting concept that I noticed is, well, actually two interesting concepts. When you pick your character, it randomly picks who goes first, second, and third. So like you have a list of characters on the screen, and if you're playing with me, for instance, it'll say Jemshi is picking first, Pescador is picking second. So if you pick my character, I cannot pick that character. I have to pick another character.
Oh.
So it goes like, it stinks when you're third because you kind of get the leftovers in a sense. I mean, but all the characters are, they're good. I'm not going to say one's better than the other, but
they all play a part
yeah.
on the team.
They all do something. So I thought that was a really interesting concept. Another interesting concept is a jump master. So instead of you being in Fortnite or PUBG or something and waiting in the plane or the bus, and then you jump out together, and everyone's like in disarray, everyone's going in every which direction. The jump master is the only person that can say, hey, we're jumping here. You can break off from the jump master if you jump, but the cool part is you all jump together. So, like, you'll land exactly in the same area as your team. Like, if you don't choose to break off from your teammates. So, like, you'll all land as a squad, and then that means you can fight as a squad, which I thought was a really neat concept.
Right, there's no...
miscommunication.
Yeah, miscommunication or arguing as to, like, get over here.
Yeah, exactly. So you can withdraw the ability to be the jump master, technically. So I started playing, and I was jump master right off the bat, and I was like, I don't know what to do, so I like gave it over to somebody else because I didn't know where to go, where not to go. You know, I don't know these things, but like over time, you understand what areas will have better loot and stuff. But I did notice that the looting system was really strange. I still don't understand it quite just yet. I understand that they have armor, and they're built by energy. I don't know how to refill the energy in the armor. So, I mean, there's something that I got to learn over time. But I don't know. It's something different. But I really enjoyed the game. The game is really neat. It's free to play. And I think some of the concepts that they have, I mean, there's other concepts that are really neat. But they're escaping me right now. But I mean, that game is really well done. And there's no server issues, and it was an EA game. Well, it was on EA Origins, so I mean, utilizing EA servers. So I'm saying like that. I'm really shocked that there wasn't any issues there. You know that a lot of their games,
right, with Anthem.
Yep, that's what I was referring to.
At least somebody's doing it right.
Yeah, exactly. So, no, I would honestly, if you have a chance to, Jemshi, I know you don't really do too many.
Yeah, I think this is a game that we should definitely check out, just because it's squad based, something that we can play together.
Yeah, it's actually
and not
really
against
fun.
Each other.
No, yeah.
But it's a lot more fun to play with someone than against them. In my opinion.
No.
That's one of the things I love about the battle royale genre. The battle royale genre, just in the fact that you can play with somebody, you can all kind of work towards a goal, and then I don't know. Obviously, there's the combating where you're playing against them because somebody.
And that's the thing, though, man. Like, look at this brand new thing, like a big gaming company. Respawn, the people that made Titanfall and Titanfall 2. Like, that was a big game when it came out. They're doing free to play now. Like, who is going to be the next big gaming company that's going to release a free to play game? Like, this is a huge thing that's really coming out. This is brand new. This is special. I'm excited to see what's next. I mean, if this is the new norm, man, coming out with free to play games and skins that come with it later on. I mean, the microtransactions are going to come.
Yeah,
because they have to make money somehow. But
that would be an interesting, time period in gaming where everything is, or mostly every game is free to play, where you could just pay for the skins. Because then after a while, you're like, okay, well, I'll just play all these games that I want, like without having to have any monetary costs. And the games you play the most are the ones you put the.
I think it's coming to the concept of the connected world, because it's available on PC, Xbox, and PS4. I don't know if they're cross-platform. I can't even speak today. Jeez, oh man. I don't know if they're cross-platform, but the concept is there. Like, it's the foundation is laid, and I'm really excited about.
See how successful it can be. Like with. Yeah. Fortnite, obviously the biggest, example out there, free to play. Yeah,
no, and if they do this game right, which honestly, in my opinion, they've ironed out some nice things that make it different, make it stand out. So now that they've laid this foundation, if they improve upon it, like, I'm not saying the game is bad at all by all means, but I'm saying that, like, if they even add a few extra characters or a few different things to the game, I mean, this can honestly give Fortnite a run for its money. I don't know. I really like it.
Yeah, I feel like as
far as free to play,
geared towards the younger audience. Like,
well, of course.
I feel like as they get older, I feel like, because it sounds to me like it's kind of like a combination of like Rainbow Six in the genre of battle royale, right? Because everybody's got their own role and abilities.
That's a very good point, because it really is. It kind of makes sure that everyone plays a role, just like in Rainbow Six, which is true. I mean, you don't get crushed and headshotted right away and die, but I mean. I always get crushed in Rainbow Six. I'm not gonna lie, but that's not the point. The point is that this concept of free to play games is not going anywhere, and I'm actually kind of excited to see where it goes, because we do spend a crap ton of. I know I spend a crap ton of money on video games. I can only imagine the amount of money I spent in the last 10 years of my life playing video games. It's astronomical, but for it to go free to play, and eventually you'd be like, dude, I didn't spend anything on this game. Why not spend $20 here, $20 there? You're gonna be spending a lot more than you would on a $60 game because it's.
I didn't pay anything the first time I played it, and it's always like the microtrans. That's why it's called like a microtransaction. It's so small, but like over the course of time,
it's like death by 1,000 cuts. I mean, truly think about it. But no, I'm excited.
I would be really stoked if that was kind of the direction that most games kind of went to. But I feel like it's also like a lot of story-driven games probably won't be obviously won't be.
That's the thing. It sucks because exactly like I think that we're gonna lose the concept of story-driven games, single-player games, because what people want nowadays are games they can play with their friends. And I think that that's kind of weaning its way out. I mean, I still love Bethesda with Fallout. I know that they kind of tried their transition to this kind of world which we can play with our friends with Fallout 76. But it's sad to say, but I think that the story-driven games are kind of going away with, and it's going to be mostly
it sounds to me like the answer would have to be like co-op story-driven games, right? Because they have to have some kind of way you can play with your friends. Because like the games that you play are very, very like highly what's the word? Like based on the games your friends play.
Yeah.
So if your friends are only playing games
you're influenced by what they play,
yeah, you're influenced by what everyone else is playing. And if someone's played a story-driven game, and like with those, the problem with those is that they're kind of like a one and done game. You've played it, and you're done. You can come back and play it again because it was fun, but in all honesty, you're not going to be able to replay.
But I think it's what it is, though, man. Because if you truly think about it, the games that do really well are the games that a lot of developers spend a ton of hours developing the game in. So, like Fallout, there's so much detail on Fallout. The game can stretch on for so long, like hours and hours and hours. Even the DLC is enjoyable. Like, I really enjoyed all the DLC that came with it, so that's why I bought it. You know what I'm saying? But games that don't have in-depth single-player games or even co-op games, like I see them going to the wayside. I'm just saying, all right, we're going to drop this, and we're just going to go straight into multiplayer.
Yeah, it sounds like they're going to be kind of like every now and then you'll be like, you know what, I kind of feel like I want to play a role-playing game or,
Yeah, but something like this day and age, people want their stuff. They want it now, and it sucks to say it that way. They don't want to sit down and play a game that's going to take 60 hours to beat. They want to play something they can,
right, and make memories with friends. Like that's kind of the big allure.
They want to play something that's going to go and done in like they can play a match in like 60 minutes and be done with it, and then they can go on with their lives and do whatever. But I don't know. It's sad, man. I love story-driven games. Like I
feel like they'll always be there. They're just gonna. They used to be like the main games that were being
predominant.
Sold.
Yeah,
now they're kind of like going on like the wayside. Like they're not going to be going on the wayside. I mean, sorry. I feel like they're just going to be more of like like a subgenre of games instead of like the genre of games that they used to be.
Yes, yeah. I mean, there are game companies that still focus on story-driven games and giving you the best for your money. I mean, I applaud those people because, they don't take the easy way out and say, man, the economic trend's pointing up for free-to-play battle royale games. Let's hop on that bandwagon while we should, and they don't throw that out all the time. I mean, I'm waiting for Call of Duty to go free-to-play. I feel like it's going to be a thing someday because Treyarch, I just over time, just Activision, I feel like all that stuff from all those Call of Duties past, like they're kind of going nowhere to like the new Call of Duties. I mean, the new ones sold quite a bit, but I mean, can you imagine the microtransactions for kids these days if they would be free to play? I mean, I
guess that's also like a good point because kids are being used they're growing up playing games that they're used to having microtransactions in their games. Yeah. And when they get older, that's like what they're used to. So when more and more games are made that way, like they won't even complain because they never knew any different.
Yeah, like at our 2D side scroller games that we used to play, we were fine with that. And then 3D games came out and we're just like, holy crap, we got to have it. I mean, that's kind of what the kids are experiencing now. Like they experienced games that you play and then you buy the game, obviously, and play Call of Duty, play the whole game. That's fun. But now they experience Fortnite. And they're like, oh my god, it's free to play, and I can spend money when I want to. Are you kidding me? This is amazing. And all these other free to play games are coming out, and even with the release of this, like Apex, like Legends, like what? Like I don't even think I said the name of the game in general, but it is Apex Legends. That's it's my fault. I got so carried away with this, like the idea behind it. I didn't even say the name, but no, I mean it's crazy to think that these kids are going to grow up on free to play games that have microtransactions. It blows my mind.
Right, that's
kids don't know the hardships.
Right, that's the thing. I was trying to think. Like,
I had to beg my parents to give me like
right.
What was it for a game back in the good old days? It was like $50, I think. Like for the most part, wasn't it? And then it went to the 60.
It used to be around 30, like
I can't
a while
remember.
ago. Like,
whatever the amount of money was, I begged my
like
parents
30,
for it.
And then they started getting up. They were going higher. Then they got to 50 was like a norm for. I don't know. It was a good couple.
Yeah,
good
60 became
almost.
the norm, and they just did not touch it.
Right, they got
then.
pushed up to 60. Now it's going to like 70. I've seen.
What? Oh, those are for the like deluxe editions and stuff, like $79.99.
Like
but
they're pushing it. Like they're making people comfortable with that price.
Now with this free to play stuff, man, I see the prices going straight down.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the funny thing. Remember back with EA and Star Wars, how they were trying to create a game that you pay for, but also make it a game that you pay to even kind of keep playing. So
that's true. It just opens the way for so many avenues, man. So
yeah, well, I'm looking forward to the games coming out this month, and also in just the many years in the future.
I agree, and I'm really excited to see what next month even has, because if Respawn can just kind of come out and say in the beginning of this month, hey, we're going to make an announcement, and everyone's like, oh my god, free to play, that's huge. You know what I'm saying? I can only imagine what the next couple months are even going to bring, so I'm actually really excited to see what new free to play game is coming out next month, because the way it's going, it seems like there's going to be a free to play game every month. I swear. So.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to it.
And thanks for listening to this episode of the Rad Gaming Podcast.
And make sure you subscribe for more video podcasts on our YouTube at youtube.com/radgamingpodcast.
You can also find us on iTunes and anywhere else you listen to podcasts.
And as always, stay rad, comrades.